Hello everybody and welcome to our 2 days webinar with the Migration Center team. 2 days focus will be on content migrations to Microsoft SharePoint and OneDrive. Before we start, I would like to conduct one quick slide of housekeeping. Please note that all attendees are muted during the complete session. Should you have any questions, you can enter them into the questions box of the GoToWebinar panel per default on your right-hand side. Please also note that this webinar is being recorded and sent to you once we have it processed after the session. Today's speakers will be Frederick, our Senior Business Development Manager from FME AG, and Virgil, our Migration Center Consultant from FME SRL. And without any further ado, I would like to hand over to our first speaker, Frederick.
Yes, hello, and welcome from my side as well. Just to have one slide to explain who we are. FME was founded in 1995, and we grow over the years all around enterprise content management. And today we have reached 280 employees, and we have global presence. As you can see on the picture, that's our headquarters in Brunswick. And then we have offices in US, offices in Romania, and also our newly opened office this year in India. So with this, we can provide our customers and partners the 24 hours support for professional services and normal support as well. With Migration Center, a product we brought to the market almost 20 years ago, we were leaving the scripting behind us. So with Migration Center, we provide our customers and partners with the migration software for complex multi-system migrations directly out of the box. And with this, we can provide a fast, secure, and for sure a cost-saving migration. After the more than 1,900 projects, a product we brought to market 9 years, we were told from our larger customer base that they choose Migration Center because of a lot of reasons. I will mention a few of them here. It was the only tool that provide large numbers out of the box migration paths, so we didn't have to develop, and we just had to do the configuration. Migration Center is quick to learn, and also with the brand new user interface that we brought on the market 2 years ago, it's even easier to use today. I would like to emphasize that with our customer training package, the customer is up and running within a day or two, so it's a very fast learning tool. And we shouldn't forget one of the most asked features, the Delta migration. With the Delta migration, we don't have any business downtimes, and the user can continue to work during the migration. And this results in a significant saving in cost and duration for migration projects. A little bit to the architecture. As I told you before, we're talking about the path. A path is, for example, a file share to Microsoft SharePoint. On the left-hand side, you see our source connectors. Those are out-of-the-box, ready-to-use connectors connecting to the API. And if you don't find your system here, we have a few generic solutions as well. So we can use a file share. We can use our SQL database scanner, and we can also do a custom system. So within a few days, we can connect to any system in the world through the API, and you can have an own custom system scanner. On the right-hand side, you have a target connectors, and you see there's a lot of target connectors we have. Also here you have generic solutions as well. But today we're focusing on the Microsoft OneDrive, Microsoft SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, and all brand new Microsoft Azure Blob storage. And with this, I would like to give the word to Virgil, who will take you through a little bit more on the architecture side.
Thank you, Frederick. You can see here the architecture based on the source connectors and the target connectors, which run on a job server, the client through which the user interacts with Migration Center, a database which stores the metadata of your objects, and a content store which will store the actual content files that you have scanned. Our advantages for using Migration Center. First, we have been a partner of Microsoft for over 10 years, As Frederick previously mentioned, we provide a Delta migration feature, which allows you to do your migrations on a source system that is still being used with no downtime or impediments to the users using that system. We support a large number of source systems as seen on the previous slide. All of these systems can be migrated to the Microsoft targets. And we have a metadata mapping engine that can do from basic one-to-one migrations to very complex changes in the metadata from your source to your target, everything in the client without the need for scripting or coding knowledge. Migration Center is also highly scalable. Going back to the basic components of the client, the database, and the job servers, you can have multiple clients connecting to your database. You can have one job server doing both scanning and importing, or you can have multiple job servers, each one of them delegated to a specific task, scanning from a certain system or importing into one or more systems. And based on your needs and based on the size of your project, you can increase the number of job servers to increase performance and the general scale of your system. The features we support for Microsoft, we support scanning and importing from SharePoint on-premise and online, and importing to Teams and OneDrive. We have a standard SharePoint Online importer and one that uses the Microsoft Migration API, the batch importer, which has increased speed compared to the standard one. We can migrate documents, list items with or without versions. We can recreate folder structures from your source system to your target system, set system and custom metadata depending on your needs, and recreate the content types that you need inside the Migration Center in order to import them to your target. This slide presents the general process of doing a migration. After this, I will show you the Migration Center web client and show you how this process would go while using Migration Center. It starts with extracting the data you need from your source, scanning the objects that you will migrate, organizing these scanned objects into migration sets. Then inside this migration set, you will do the transformation and validation steps where you change your metadata to conform to your needs in your target system and validate that everything is correct and do any corrections if needed. And once your metadata is transformed and validated, you go to the import phase where the objects will be imported to your target system. Okay, and now I will do a short demo of the actual product so you can see the steps being used. Here, you can see the Migration Center web client, the main tabs being scanners, migration sets, importers. The scanners are used to scan objects from your source system. You create a scanner, you set the required configuration, do a scan run, and the metadata of the objects you have scanned is now in the Migration Center database. These objects are then selected in a migration set created for the path that you require. You can select one or more scan runs. This is where you will do the transformation of your metadata, both system attributes and custom attributes, transforming them to your needs. Once your source objects are transformed, you will now be able to see the new metadata, how it will look in your target system. Now that all the metadata has been transformed and validated, you go to the import step, where you create an importer similar to the scanners, where you set all the required configurations, authentication, and the location of your job server. You select the MIG set you have previously created. and you run the import. And you will also have a list of import runs that have been done. This is the basic process that you will go through in every migration that you do. There are certain features that you might or might not use, like mapping lists, multiple MIG sets, multiple source systems, or multiple target systems, but this is the process that any migration goes through. I will now handle the meeting back to Frederick.
Okay, thank you very much, Virgil. First of all, Migration Center comes with unlimited numbers of users, unlimited numbers of job servers, which you need when you want to scale up. We've done projects with more than 500 million documents with less than 6 months, so we can speed up and be very fast. Migration Center will never be a bottleneck here. So you get everything you need to scale up and be very fast if needed. Also, we don't have any limits on numbers of documents or data volume. So you can go for a license, which is a Migration Center core. You need that once, and then you add your path, source to Microsoft. So file share to Microsoft and so on and so forth. So you can have many paths and only one Migration Center. Then we have perpetual license if you think that the project will go on for more than 2 years. But we also have a project license, which is limited to 12 months. But of course, you can always increase that and add to that and add another year if you need. So it's very straightforward, easy to calculate and easy to understand. And the main focus here to make sure that you can migrate what you need and that you have the time that you need to do so. Also, what we propose is migration services. So if you don't want to do the migration on your own, or we do it partly, what we do is proposing an analysis and planning. We also do a proof of concept. Depending on how big the project is, we have a very good price for that and opportunity to do this proof of concept to make sure that it works for you when you are before you're starting and before you have to purchase anything. We also have a trial that you can use. We can do connected development that as I told about. We also have maintenance support, and that means that we are updating the tool at least 4 times a year. And when new connectors comes up, you will get informed. And all this is included in the price as well. And this goes on, so we can do everything until installation and configuration and getting up and running. So this is what we are providing. So as you like, you can do it on your own with our package for training. You're up and running in a day or two, or you can do a full service from our side. It's up to you. With this, I say thank you very much from my side. I give the word to Mark.
All right. Thank you, Frederick and Virgil, for those great insights. Before we finish up our webinar today, please let me promote our dedicated product website on migration-center.com. On there, you can find even more details like success stories with former clients and customers, the different target platforms. You can get a free trial of Migration Center, which is a 14-day full functional version to try it out in your own systems. We also have social media presences on LinkedIn, X, formerly known as Twitter, and of course on YouTube with our former webinar sessions to watch as recordings. And you might know that this webinar today is part of a webinar series, and there is more webinars coming up in the next month. One is focused on the Highland systems, OnBase and Alfresco, and the other one is focusing on Box. So if that would be of interest to you, just register on our website I just mentioned. And with that being said, we move on to the next slide. Should you have any questions, just get in touch with us. Both Frederick and Virgil and the rest of our team are happy to answer all your individual questions you might have according to your migration projects. Just send us an email to info@migration-center.com, or as I just mentioned, go to our website. We also have a contact form on there. We should be at the end of our 2-day session. I would like to thank you for attending. Hope to see you again soon and have a great rest of the day.